Whew. What is going on, guys? Good morning. Good morning. How's everybody doing today? How is everybody doing? You guys take any trades or what? Okay. Put in the Discord. Good morning. Did you guys take anything today? Anything at all? I didn't do anything today. I took no trades. I was dried out. Shorts were pretty obvious today. I just wish I waited till 10 o'clock, and I had a plan as to what I wanted to do for shorts, but I'll show you guys exactly like what I wanted and how I wanted it to pan out. So, fucking stupid jacket. Before getting started, hold on. Damn it, that was embarrassing. I got it. Okay. So, we had 8:30 high impact news. That didn't really do anything. Yeah, it was kind of just dull up until 9:30, which was blast off. So, since the fact that 9:30 just ran in one side, I was just on standoff mode. But like the day, what did we do at the open? Like literally all we did, like how are we forming daily candles? I said the same thing yesterday, I said the same thing today. Open, high, low, close, open, low, high, close. It's one of those two things for a daily candle. Today for the open, all we did was open high. Open high with no manipulation lower. So therefore, if we're opening higher, what are we most likely going to be doing? Asia pump, London pump, New York reversal. That's literally what's happening right now. But the structure behind what happened and how we did it was something that I couldn't even participate. I can't participate in this. Like, how the hell am I going to even get in? How? Even if I wanted to get in on a sell from the 15-minute chart to 1 minute, the 1 minute chart looks horrible. Like this looks absolutely horrendous right now. And I don't really care about price moving in this sort of way because it doesn't match my model. But what I wanted price to do. So if I'm going to replay, let's go back to like 10 o'clock. So here's 9:45 candle. We're moving into the new 10 o'clock candle, new 10 o'clock 4 hour. So the new 4 hour candle, what I wanted to see, like we had the Dow Jones running to these highs at the open. Yeah. So my plan was to take a 15-minute to an M1 trade, but keep in mind, the previous 4 hour candle high on the S&P 500 is here. The previous 4 hour candle high on the NASDAQ is here. The previous 4 hour candle high on the Dow Jones is right here.
So in order for me to get something off today, what I want to do for 10 o'clock? I want an SMT to be created on the previous 4-hour candles. So I would want to see price on YM here run this 4-hour candle high like this, create an SMT like this, while the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ fail and just trade inside of this 15-minute fair value gap and trade lower like this, or trade like this to go lower and create an SMT like that. That would have been my ideal plan for the day. I would have wanted this. That would be the only way for me to get into a play on for today's price. That's it. Also, people are asking, why is news canceled? So what have we just what happened just now? Like literally just recently. The US government shutdown. What does it say on forexfactory.com? Tentative for non-farm payroll. That government shutdown is going to impact the economic calendar. Therefore, non-farm payroll, CPI, FOMC, the heavy hitters that provide volatility into the market, they're not going to happen. The data is going to be delayed and they're not going to release it. Therefore, if there's no heavy hitters that provide volatility and direction in the marketplace, we're going to get chopped price action. So what does that mean for us? That means that we should be being very patient in regards to the trades that we're taking. Very, very patient. It sucks, but it is what it is. It's like you can't do anything about it. But it's the left battling the right. They can't come to an agreement, and next thing you know, this leads to this bullshit. So it sucks, but it is what it is. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Right? But this was my only play on today. I didn't take any trades today. I wanted to see this. This was my only stipulation of a short. And obviously, if I undo replay, you can see what happened here. We just left the same corresponding 4-hour highs, and then the NASDAQ and the S&P 500 just continued to sell off. Today didn't match my entry function, and it is what it is sometimes. That's how it just how price wants to trade. But I mean, like moving forward, we're trading into a 4-hour gap right now on the S&P 500 and the failing to tag that same 4-hour gap on the NASDAQ. We could potentially see price either one, if the day is capped on the move. I think it is. I think that we just set in the high of the day. I would potentially see tomorrow if we can create an SMT inside of this 4-hour gap, the one that already tagged on the S&P 500, and this here too. It would be great. Also, like we have this big impulse leg from yesterday. If we can go and reach like maybe discount, or if the S&P 500 could reach discount of this swing, and discount of this swing lines with like 50% of this fair value gap, that would be pretty interesting to see. The Dow Jones is practically already there, but I would like a little bit of a run lower before I would do anything. And also it's past 11 o'clock or past 11 o'clock. So I would believe that price is most likely going to slow down for the remainder of the day. I'm just hoping that this government shutdown shit doesn't like last too long. You know, I hope that. I would still like to see lower prices before going higher, leaving behind this high so we get it as a future target down the line. But we have a nice impulse leg. We're at all-time highs. There's no reason to believe right now that the top is in until price starts violating all the bullish PD rates that we have as defense. So that's my current view right now. Gold was a decent short. The only thing that I didn't see or understand on gold was the target for me was London lows here. One of my Discord members called it. The only thing here was the lack of SMT at the high. Like we had no SMT at the highs between any of the correlated pairs. So I couldn't frame something because of that reason. But if there was an SMT, the entry function was so clean. So clean. We swept out the high. We had relative equal lows at London. We cleaned out Asia. We had a 15-minute change in the save delivery. We had an up close candle here that ran this short-term high. We traded back into it on the 945 candle and then just delivered lower. It was really clean. It's just there was no SMT. So there's no SMT. There's no trade for me. It is what it is sometimes. We're also getting a good move on foreign currencies too for my people that are trading FX. I would have wanted to see this SMT we still have inside of this gap here. Just the only thing we're trading inside of this daily fair value gap here, but there's no SMT inside of this gap. Same thing with the dollar index, and dollar index also has relative equal highs that I think will get cleaned out 96,636. This is what I like on dollar index. And dollar could potentially be initiating that market maker buy model to those highs. This looks pretty clean. I just wish that there was some sort of daily SMT that I could have framed something with. But maybe tomorrow dollar continues in this move, maybe trading into this 4-hour gap here, or we inverse this 4-hour gap right here, inverse this gap, trade into it, use that as reaccumulation. There's a flat body high right here from Friday at 7 a.m. There's a bunch of different ways that this could be sparked. What's DXI? You mean DXY? But this is my view on dollar right now. This looks pretty clean. And then euro plays catch up to that same corresponding low that got taken out on GBP. Foreign currencies has just been pretty difficult lately. You have a limit on UJ? I haven't looked at anything outside of the dollar cross in a while. Gold has a daily fair value gap. Wanted to trade into to go higher. Oh, that daily gap that you're talking about, Luke, is I think it's an SMT with unless you're talking about this daily gap that it's inside right now. Be careful because if gold inverses that daily gap, then price can start melting. But honestly, if you look at the weekly time frame, bro, the weekly time frame, if we capped off the weekly range for gold, you could anticipate the next week to trade down into previous weekly low and we reach into a weekly fair value gap. That would probably be the best scenario. I think a weekly fair value gap would be the best. And I feel like we're due for that. We've had we've had runs of previous weekly highs ever since August 18th. So it's I think it could be time for price to start making a move down lower. And look at September's monthly candle for gold. Once we get that weekly gap, or if we can get that weekly gap on gold next week, that'll prime us. That will prime us. I think that'll be fire. Someone said UJ. I kind of wanted to look at it. Oh my God, dollar is like ripping. Dollar just reached that 4-hour gap that I was just talking about. Holy. You're an ES short. How did you get in? Or when did you get in? UDay. There was an SMT inside of that 15-minute gap. The only way for like an execution today on indices was you sold before the open. But like if I go to this, there was nothing that I could have done here. Oh, wait, delete and delete. I had no entry function up here. I had nothing. This was literally just a open price, die. Unless you literally sold. Unless you sold up here. Sweeping this high, closing below this, and then sold that. But that's a pretty risky play. You know? You shorted 6.758. Wait, 6.758. 6.758. What made you short that? Or what gave you that trade idea? Was it this order block here at 10:35? I'm guessing. I'm raising my desk so I can stand. Down. Why were longs invalid today? So, longs, in my opinion, were invalid today because all we did at the opening of the daily candle was we opened high. We didn't have any manipulation lower. So, the idea of how to frame a daily candle formation, it's two ways. It's open high, low close, open low, high close. Like yesterday, what did we do yesterday? Yesterday, we opened lower. We created an SMT during London. This was a lot more clear than it was today. Today was not as clear as yesterday. Yesterday, we had Asia dump, the opening of the daily candle dumped, London dumped, and then we started reversing in New York. New York reversal after Asia and London sell. Today, we had an Asia and opening of the daily candle, open higher, London higher, to then New York reversal. The same thing yesterday is the same thing today, just the opposite. The only thing that's different in today's case is the fact that there was no clean manipulation like London had with an SMT. Like this today's read was not clear to me as yesterday was. And I would have taken a sell again if the Dow Jones swept out the 4-hour candle high, created an SMT at these highs, and then went short. I would have shorted if we did this, and the NASDAQ and the S&P 500 did this with the previous 4-hour candle high. I would have shorted if we did that. But since there was no SMT, there was no trade for me. That's a bar. Today's long was not my play on. I didn't have a clean read or a good bias up until what I had for the assumption for 10 o'clock. Looking for a sell inside of that 15-minute gap if we created an SMT on the 4-hour. That would have been my trigger. That would have been my trigger. Yeah. Also, I caught a win yesterday, so I can't even be mad. If I didn't take a trade yesterday and I missed the longs yesterday, then I probably would have been like impatient and like upset, but still not to the point where I would have tilted or anything like that. So I went into today's mindset with like, if it offers for me, then I'm going to take it. If it doesn't, then I'm not. And that's honestly how you guys all should be. Like, if price wants to give us an opportunity, then it will. If it doesn't, then it doesn't. The best times, in my opinion, to trade NASDAQ is between 10:30, is between 9:30 and 10:30. You want to get in a trade on between that time. Or if you want to do 9 a.m. to 10:30. Because then factoring in equities open, factoring in the new 10 a.m. 4-hour candle, you'll have an idea and a depiction as to where price will go by that time. If the 6 a.m. sets the low in for the 4-hour candle, or if the 10 o'clock candle is setting in the low for a 10 a.m. reversal. Foreign currencies have been absolutely horrendous compared to futures. You'll be able to find like 90% of the time, there will be a trade every single day on NQ, ES, or YM. You're not going to have that consistency on foreign currencies. Foreign currencies are meant to range and not be in a consistent trend compared to, like, literally all I need to do is go to a monthly time frame and show you guys just what price has been doing for years. What has price been doing for years on foreign currencies? I literally don't even. I have 3 charts divided right now, and I could fit the past almost decade of price on euro. If I go to a monthly time frame on indices, what's the overall trend on index futures on NASDAQ? Up, up. I want to trade trending markets. I don't want to trade consolidating markets. Euro USD, GBP USD is not meant to just go up forever. It's not. It's meant to range and stay within a range. Index futures are meant to historically go higher. Therefore, it's easier to trade. Much easier. And it's kind of like it should be very obvious why it's better to trade this than it is to trade EUGU and dollar pairs. I'm not looking at anything today. I have nothing on my agenda for the day. I think that today's price is capped off on the daily highs, and I will take a trade tomorrow if it presents itself to continue to target higher. In my opinion, I don't really have anything of value right now. Is technicals leads to fundamentals? I don't pay attention to fundamentals in trading. I personally have never had to, and I make more than enough money not paying attention to fundamentals in trading. Because in my opinion, from my experience, my technicals will automatically align with the fundamentals of whatever is happening in the world. Like I've never really had to look at like the bond market, the yields, like I don't have to pay attention to that because all I need to look at is price action on the triads, and that will always align, and I'll be able to tell what price is doing here, and that will automatically align with fundamentals. That's just it. That is it. Crypto is actually having a really good day right now. Bitcoin's back, most likely going to all-time highs. We're ripping right through that weekly fair value gap too. This thing could make a weekly bullish order block. I'm going to take that away. Take this away. Delete all this. Got a weekly bullish order block here. If we close above 17, what is it? 17,405. If we close above that, price could on the next week come down into it and then just take out all-time highs. I'm not looking to trade. I know what you guys are looking at right now. I don't want to trade this right now. I don't have anything of value. I know you guys see this. You guys see this. You see the 4-hour gap here. The 15-minute. There's no order block for me or entry function that I could take. Like, this is not something that I'm going to do or want to take. I don't believe that price is going to just violate everything here after this crazy drop, unless like we displace with speed and we close above like 10-15's candle high and we create a 15-minute breaker. That would like literally be the only thing for you guys if we did this. Like boom, create a 15-minute gap, align with that breaker, get in like this, buy that, and then go higher. That's like it. But do I think that that's going to happen? Probably not. So, Luke, I finished trading and I stop. My year's done after the first NFP of December, and then I'm literally done until the new year. So I will be done trading the first week or that first NFP of December, and then I go on vacation. I'm with family and friends until the end of the year, and then I come back in January and I'll start trading again. That's what I do. Because that's the closure of the yearly candle. It's the closure of quarter four. I don't have any desire to be on the charts after that time. Yeah, after that first week of December, I'm done. I take my payouts, I have fun, spoil my family, and then fuck off until January. And like obviously you guys should have a point in time where like you take time away from the charts or like take a breather. Like I've been doing this and live trading like for damn near 4 years now, and I barely miss days like ever. And this is like when I'm actually going to take a first like full month or almost a month off of the charts and just take time away to myself, and it's going to be nice and relaxing because I don't need to worry about price. I don't need to worry about looking for trades or making any money. I'm going to lock in for the beginning of quarter four, make my money, take my time off, and then I come back fresh when the new year hits. I'm from New Jersey. I'm from Jersey. But I live like right outside of New York. I have family in South Jersey. But I have a house in the North. Do you follow all the news and events closely? Yes. You can't go into a trading week without knowing the economic calendar, bro. The economic calendar is one of the most important things one of the most important factors that you need to pay attention to when you trade. The economic calendar guides you to know when and how price will go to certain points. Technicals will help that. Like you'll be able to tell based off of your technicals, price is doing this inside of this higher time frame key level, and then the economic calendar will align with that, providing speed into the market to get to certain liquidity pools and objective points. How old have you started trading and where you learned trading? So how old was I when I started? I was 21. And I'm 26 now. Sorry, I'm not 26, I'm 27. Jeez. I started trading my senior year of college, and then I didn't finish college and dove into this full time. Yeah, I did. I did see what happened, Luke. No, dude, I'm unk, but I get called an 18-year-old all the time. Like I still look like I'm a child. But I'm completely fine with that. I'm completely fine with that. What do you do with market volatility? What does that mean? I'll use the forever model for my entry, but like NQ US 30, US 500 have 930 for manipulation, but a currency pair, we don't have that. Yeah, see, that's why currency pairs are, I hate currency pairs. They're, but for currency pairs, use the economic calendar and wait for news events. Wait for news events to come into play, and they will provide the manipulation in the day, and then you'll get your executions on. But like, I hate this is horrendous, PA. Horrendous. And most of the time, the manipulations occur in the market on foreign currency pairs. Like euro will be in London, GBP will be in London, and that'll be like when the low or the high of the day is set in. I think that index futures will always be best, at least for people that live in the States or the East Coast. So when I started trading, I already went over this before it, but I'll go over it again because I really don't have anything. Hold on, why is he calling me right now? So I started trading in 2020, and I got into trading because of options trading. If you guys don't know what options trading is, it's like trading stocks, but like you buy contracts for positions that have expiration dates, and you can make a lot of money from it. But I saw people making a lot of money through this, like thousands upon thousands of dollars from just buying something and then holding it overnight or holding it for a couple weeks, month, whatever it might be. So I was always a person that wanted to find the easy way out. And like going through school, whether it was high school, college, I would always cheat. Like I was always cheating shit and just trying to fucking get people to do my homework, cheating on tests, all that sort of stuff. And I didn't want to do the work. And when I saw fucking people clicking a button, making thousands of dollars like overnight, I'm like, yo, why? If they can do it, why can't I? So I got into it. And when I got in COVID in March. If you guys look at the charts, COVID in March was legitimately the bottom. Like 2020 here was the bottom. And then look at what happened after COVID. We literally ripped for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 months straight. 5 months straight, we were on a tear. And then what happened in September after August when we had 5 months straight of ripping? We had our first pullback. So I was making money consistently, and a lot of money for that time period up until the end of summer when we had our first red day. I was very greedy and I didn't know when to sell my positions because I would just wake up to more money in my account every day. And this was when I didn't know prop firms. It was all my personal money that I was funding my accounts with. So I went through the ringer of learning my lesson to being an extremely greedy person, not taking profits off the table when I was up thousands of dollars. Once I saw the first red day, it went downhill from there because August and September, or September and October, were both red months that I gave back a majority of what I made in the entirety from the bottom of March. So I stayed consistent with it. I made it out alive after those 2 red months. Price continued to go higher. And then I found I got into SMC trading, like supply and demand. And that was what I got into with prop firm accounts. I found my forex funds, FTMO, all those guys. So I tried doing those. And then I got into signal services. Again, I'm trying to find the easy way out. I'm just trying to copy people, all that sort of stuff. That did not work. Signal services do not work. They are literally a scam. You should be finding something that is like a process that you can learn, you can implement yourself, not just trying to copy other people. If you're just coming into a thing and just trying to copy others and thinking that you're going to get rich, you are so delusional. So I went through the ringer with that. After I went through like the process of consistently losing evaluation accounts, failing to like pass anything because all I was doing was relying on others, I lost so much money. It was getting to the point where I couldn't lose any more money. So I found ICT in 2022. I went through the 2022 mentorship. I got a mentor, and I had somebody looking over my shoulder, monitoring every single move that I did. Someone that actually held me accountable in my trading, and I liked their process of trading. So that was what helped me a lot in my development while I was learning concepts and getting like truly addicted to trading and the whole thing. So I got that help. And then after kind of being between the beginner stage to break even, once I found my bearings and I found certain pieces from different strategies, and like I got stuff from MXM, I got stuff from Trader Day, I was able to finally combine everything that made sense to me in a repeatable system to then get my forever model that I now use and have been using for years now. So it took me after 2022, a little bit over a year and some change to get my first payout, and then be consistent with a process that I can replicate. After I got my first payout, I would take that money, put it into more prop firms, more allocation of funding. And then from that point on, it was just scaling, adding more and more prop firm allocation money. And then after I was making enough money, I was then able to take care of my family, help my mom pay off her house, help my dad with his bills, take care of like my brother, like buy them gifts, all that sort of stuff, buy my first house. Like that all was just the process and automatic reward of me being consistent with my strategy. So it took me from the start of when I started looking at candlesticks. I made a lot of money when I trade options, but it wasn't consistent. But it took me years to get to the point where I'm at now. It obviously doesn't have to be years for everybody. That whole process in the beginning could have changed if I had someone to watch over me sooner. Like that would have been a lot more beneficial and helpful to me if I had somebody to really take care and watch my process over my shoulder earlier than I had. And like a lot of the people in the trading space now, like everyone and their mother now, like from the start of 2022 that you see are mentors now, they all went through the same shit that I did, and they all do the same shit that I do now. It's just a matter of you choosing who you connect with the most, who you like the most, and what process resonates with you the most. That will be your deciding factor as to what you do and how you stick with that specific process for the rest of your life. I found someone that resonated with me, that I connected with, that I liked, and I stuck with it. And then I was able to build something out of that. Matt, bro, what do you think about upgrading? I don't know if I could do that. I can make that potentially an opportunity, but that would come into the clash of Dodgy's indicator because Dodgy has an IFEG indicator, and I don't know if I could do that. I don't know if I could do that. I don't know if I could do that. Do you think trading psycho? Yes, I think trading psycho. So I said this yesterday. I could give you everything everything that you could possibly ever need in a trading model. Literally, something that I show you has a 70%, 80% win rate, whatever it might be from my usage. But if I give it to you and I show it to you, you will not have the same results because it's the operator behind the model, not the actual entry model. It does not matter what the strategy is. It is the person behind the mouse clicking the buttons that is able to determine that win rate and if you even make any money. Let that resonate with you and understand that truly. And I have so many psychology videos on my YouTube channel that you guys should watch. And it's just me talking to the camera, and it'll help you a lot. But your psychology and the way that you manage your emotions, the way that you handle a trading day is the most important aspect of trading by a landslide. I am not a course seller. All I have is a Discord where I live trade in. I did not take any trades today, CSM. Trading psychology is the holy grail. Discipline, risk management, managing your emotions. That is what determines a good trader to a bad trader. If you lost 2% of your capital, did you take 2 trades in a single day that had 1% risk each day? Or that had 1% risk on each trade? Because if you took 2, I mean, for me, my rule of thumb is my first trade that I take, it's 1% risk. And then if I lose that trade, the next trade that I'll take, it's either 0.5% or it's the same. Well, what I did yesterday was I pyramided 2 entries from my long at both 0.5%, equating to another 1% risk trade. Yes, exactly, Richie. It's the same thing that happened yesterday. We opened low to then go high and then close. Today we opened high to then close, or to go low and close. Like literally open with no manipulation wick lower, open higher, Asia, London higher, New York reversal. Yesterday, same thing, Asia, London lower, New York reversal. Same thing, except yesterday was a lot cleaner in regards to price, like a lot cleaner. Yesterday was fire. Yesterday was crazy good. Tomorrow could be good. Tomorrow could be good because we'll have a daily bullish fair value gap on NASDAQ, and we'll be within this 4-hour bullish fair value gap also potentially. If we lose this 4-hour gap, or if we lose this 4-hour gap on ES, then most likely going to anticipate lower prices. Yeah, yesterday was actually effortless. Effortless price action. London manipulation with SMT at the lows, New York reversal. So simple. Today's, are you talking about today? The SMT inside this 15-minute gap? The 1 minute chart from this 15-minute gap delivery was horrendous, bro. Like, this was not clean at all. Oh, also, if you guys are balling on a budget, that message that we have right here from GTV, 25K accounts are literally $20. $20. If you don't capitalize on that and pick those up, I don't know what to tell you. $80 gets you 100K in funding. Like, come on. That's better than practically every single prop firm that's out there right now. Your confidence is rock solid, but why, when you lose, did you shout, "Why, God, why?" Because I'm a human that has emotions. Wait, did I say that? I didn't say that. Did I say? No, I didn't say, "Why, God, why?" I probably said, "This is bullshit." Or I said, "Damn, this is ass." That's probably what I said. But then I still went into the day and annihilated price after. I took my loss. I took my loss here. I got back in here and made it right back with interest. And I was like, that's what you get. That's what you get for stopping me out. I'm going to get my get back. Get it right back. I get it right back. Because I had the full conviction that yesterday was going to be either a seek and destroy day. Because if I got stopped out that long here, if I got stopped out here, then I would have known that price would have just been a broadening formation. Like, I got in here at this IFVG. I got in here. And if price ended up going higher, taking out that high here, and then stopping me out lower, price would have literally just looked like this, a megaphone. This to that. And thankfully, we did not. And that's why I give myself 2 tries in a day. 2 tries, and if I lose both, then I'm done. That's it. I get 2 tries, and I'm done. Two tries, and I'm done. Technicals. I don't use fundamentals. Only thing I could do done better yesterday was scaling in. Yeah, that's what I did. I scaled in at the M50B. I personally don't like, I hardly ever do a 15 minutes to a 1 minute. It has to be like today's case. I would have done it if we ran the 4-hour candle high on the Dow Jones at that 10 o'clock open. If we ran that high, then I would have taken a short on NASDAQ when the SMT looked like this and the SMT looked like this. Then I would have done it because it would have been framed from a 4-hour to a 15-minute to a 1 minute. And I would have had 3 aligned time frames. That's it. That's it. How do I control tilt? I just have certain rules that I follow. And like if you are on, let's say you're on Project X on Blue Guardian Futures and you're taking trades, and you should be utilizing the lockout feature and locking yourself out of your account once you breach a certain amount of losses. AKA, if you take 2 losses in a day, lock yourself out. Or if you lost too much in the day and you over leveraged, lock yourself out. That's why their platform is really good, especially if you don't if you know that you can't control yourself. Lock yourself out of your account. And then come back in the next day, refresh, journal everything. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. 11:55. Let's see what we are going to do for the giveaway today. The giveaway word today. Let's see. What should we do? What should we do? What should we do? What should we do? But yeah, the lockout feature on Project X will save your life if you can't control yourself. And if you feel like you still go through those emotions, get these accounts, trade them, and use that feature. Seriously. Oh, I got a good one. And this is going to know if you guys really know me or not. That's also a good one, Luke. That's actually a really good one. And I think I'm going to do that. It's going to be a question. It's going to be a question. And I say this all the time, too. I say this all the time. I'll do it in like a minute. I'll do it in like a minute. When we hit 11:58, I'm going to ask the question. When the clock hits 11:58. All right, 10 seconds. All right. 11:58. What is the number one thing that I need to get into a trade? I say this: no blank, no trade. No blank, no trade. What do I need to get into a trade? Boom, got it already. Beautiful. There's your three winners. Vicky, Luke, LL. Did someone just say turtle soup? Am I Romeo? Am I Romeo, honestly? From GG, right below. Right there. And GTV, I'm going to send you the screenshot so that you guys got it. The number one thing that I say is all the time, and just like today, if there's no SMT, there's no trade. I have tweeted that out, said it so many times. SMT is the most important factor for me to get into any trade that I take. If there's no SMT in a fair value gap, if there's no SMT at an old high or a low, I cannot take the trade. Why can't I take the trade? Because there is no protected low or high that I could place a stop loss. No SMT, no trade for me. And I made that little rhyme earlier too in the live stream. But that is my most important thing when it comes to trading. But that concludes the live stream. That concludes this trading week. Tomorrow, we do not have an NFP data release. Remember that. It says tentative on the forexfactory.com. So go into tomorrow, low expectations. We had a good move yesterday. Don't give up profits. Just trying to think that like price could do an explosive move again today or tomorrow. But I hope you guys all have a great rest of your day. I hope you guys all have a great weekend. And like always, I will see you guys all next week for the next live stream. Take care, everyone, and I will talk to you guys all later on. Deuces.